The 72 Dolphins are celebrating once again as the Kansas City Chiefs lose their first game of the season to a familiar foe, the Buffalo Bills, who always seem to have their number in the regular season. Bills won this one 30-21. And you know what? To be honest with you, when I look back at this game, like Bills are just absolutely the better team in this one. I mean, there was obviously it was close at times. Chiefs led for a little bit there, but I think this was a really good Buffalo Bills win on the back of that defense and on the back of Josh Allen.
Yeah, I mean, everything comes together here for the Bills. They put a good football game together, and they started on the front, and they pick off Patrick Mahomes to get the game going. Let you know what kind of thing you're in for. Patrick Mahomes would recover and throw 3 touchdowns, but he would also throw another pick. So the Bills definitely lit this one up. Were able to bring down the Chiefs, stop them from having an undefeated season, and I would agree they looked just like the better team all the way through. So looking at it on paper, Josh Allen goes 27 for 40, 262 yards. There was 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Led the team on the ground with 55 yards and a touchdown. James Cook had a bigger day on the ground than Allen with 2 touchdowns, but he only was able to get 20 yards. I mean, the Chiefs defense is solid. They kept Cook from having too many explosive plays, but were not able to keep him out of the end zone once the Bills got down towards the goal line. Khalil Shakir led the Bills in the air with 70 yards. Curtis Samuel, former Commander and Panther, 58 yards, second on the team, got himself a touchdown. And then Amari Cooper had 55 yards, and Dawson Knox also had 40 yards. Taylor Rapp and Terrell Bernard were the ones to pick off Patrick Mahomes, which would end up being really big, especially towards the end of the game. And then Tyler Bass missed an extra point in this game. It is not his first time missing an extra point this season, but Bills fans might actually be rejoicing, as every time Tyler Bass has missed an extra point this season, they have still gone on to win that game. So maybe made it a little too close in the beginning, but so far throughout the season, it has not ended up mattering too much. The 2 kickers in this game will be much more free of criticism than some of the other kickers we'll talk about in our other videos, such as Justin Tucker in our previous video. For the Chiefs, not the worst game, but again, they just kind of get outplayed by the Bills. Patrick Mahomes goes 23 for 33, 196 yards, 3 touchdowns, which is big, but 2 picks, which is bigger in the terms of how this game kind of played out. Kareem Hunt was their leader in rushing with 60 yards. Xavier Worthy led them in the air with 61 yards and a touchdown. Noah Gray, the backup tight end for Travis Kelce, had just 23 yards, but got himself 2 touchdowns. Pretty big for him. A big day for him. Not that it's crazy he got 2 touchdowns, but just a big impact in this game overall. Tamari Connor picked off Josh Allen, and then Harrison Butker is on IR, as we talked about kind of in our prediction video. So he had Spencer Schrader fill in for him. No field goal attempts, but Schrader did go 3 for 3 on extra points. So good. Maybe one of the worries for Chiefs fans in this game would be that they were lacking the kicker, but Schrader did everything asked of him to give the Chiefs their 21 points. Never was given a field goal attempt, but he didn't miss any extra points, and Tyler Bass did. So I mean, maybe he can walk away with that. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think this one is summed up by the first drive. Not that the Chiefs played bad, not that the Chiefs are ever really counted out in this game. They definitely fought through the whole time. Until that last pick, there was certainly a chance that they could have made something happen. It would have been tough towards the end, not a lot of time, but they certainly could have made something work down 21-30. We know that you can't count the Chiefs out with 10 seconds left on the clock against the Bills. We've seen that before. But they start this game, 2 plays, pick, turn it around, give a touchdown to the Bills, and then they trade a few punts. Then you're up 7-6. But at that point, the game gets rolling, and the Bills just kind of locked in and showed that they were the better team so thus far at this point in the season. We'll see if that changes in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's always the conversation. But look, I think we can live in the moment and give props to the Bills. For me, I mean, like I said, like when I just look back at it, it's like the Bills, they played a really good game. And, you're what's funny with the Bills is, like, you lose, obviously, Gabe Davis in the offseason down in Jacksonville. I think he probably wishes he was back in Buffalo. We talked about that game earlier this season where they played on Monday Night Football. And Stephon Diggs, unfortunately, he's injured, of course, but he's down in Houston. You lose your top 2 guys. You bring in some guys that may or may not be proven yet. You got some guys on your roster that may or may not be proven yet. And you look pretty good in a game where, by the way, you're missing Keon Coleman. You drafted out of Florida State. And then Dalton Kincaid, your top tight end, he's out. So, I mean, it's pretty good performance, all things considered. Now I know you have Amari Cooper and only had 2 catches, but they're 2 huge catches. So like it's not like he really needed to have, go 10 for 150, anything like that. Like he had 2 big catches in the moment. So that's all you really needed. But Shakir and Curtis Samuel really made the most of the plays for them. So if for me, it's really just how well that offense played and the defense. Look, I'm not going to sit here and act like the Chiefs offense is bad just because they only scored 21. Like it is still 21 points. Um, But for a lot of the game, they kept them down. Like you said, they traded punts, over and over in early third quarter. At some points in the first and second, getting that interception, to start the game really galvanized them. I think from the beginning, like because I mean, literally the second play of the game, Mahomes throws that interception. And it's like I think the energy completely shifted at that point. Just like that, you're in Buffalo. It's a huge hype game. And that is the last thing the Chiefs needed on offense. And you go down, you get a touchdown. And I think, even when, like I said, the Chiefs did pick up the lead for just a little bit there when it was 14-13, right for a half. I think just for most of the game, like the Bills just, they had that edge. Um, and especially that last drive with that touchdown with Josh Allen. I mean, that is, we talk about how well the Chiefs defense has played all year. That was embarrassing. Like nothing pisses me off more than just seeing professionals tackle like that. I mean, I understand. I watched Cam Newton. Look, we watched Cam Newton for almost 10 years, right? Like we're
Yeah.
not stupid. We know what Josh Allen is built like, but dude's just bouncing off him, trying to tackle him up high, and all that kind of crap. Like, get your hands on this man, try to bring him down. Like your game's on the line, and Josh Allen once again. I mean, the passing game obviously carried as it has from a lot of these Bills games. Of course, James Cook, like every other game, will have a pretty good one. Wasn't really there for this one, but they didn't need him, and I think maybe this is the year that the Bills finally, if they do meet in the playoffs, and it'd be funny if they didn't, but maybe this is the year that they finally turn things around against them and win a game because it's not as if they've been blown out every time either. It's they've always been close games, and all it takes, even with a stupid Josh Allen interception, which he hadn't had too many of these at all this season. He's been great at that, keeping the ball, in the hands of his receivers and not the defenders for other teams. Even with that interception by Josh, like they still played great, and all it takes is just a couple interceptions, one to start the game and one to end the game, and maybe the Bills are the ones going all the way instead of the Chiefs this year. So for right now, I mean, obviously the Bills are still only 9-2, but they played one more game. So we'll see how things kind of shape up. But if they do end up tied at the end of the season, Bills will have that edge over them.
Yeah, this is a big moment, and we'll talk about this team in our next video. But this is a big moment for the Chargers as well. I mean, the Bills definitely hand the Chargers a little
True.
bit of favor here to bring the Chiefs down a little bit. Maybe give the Chargers a chance to try to take over the division leader spot. I don't really predict that happening, but it's definitely something that the Chargers needed a little bit of outside influence for because of the 3 losses. Even if the Chargers were the only team to beat them twice, which is not possible, it would not work out too well. But yeah, I mean the Bills just played a better football game here, and I think you see it. The one time the Bills make a mistake, the Chiefs do capitalize, that they make it 14-13, and the Bills settle in for a second for a field goal, and they go into halftime with the lead, come out, and they start trading punts, and you kind of think like, whoa, what's happened to the teams? Like it wasn't the most action filled, touchdown filled first half, but 16-14 is a respectable first half score. Now we're punting, and then the Bills kind of catch fire, get down there, score a touchdown, make it 23-14. Chiefs keep themselves alive and make it 21-23. And then, you get, as I said, the Chiefs defense kept James Cook from being super explosive, but when it mattered most, they could not stop Josh Allen from a big explosive play. 26-yard rushing touchdown, just breezing through guys. I mean, I know he's big. I know he's a tough guy to bring down. As Terrence said, we're Panthers fans. We've watched a whole lot of prime Cam Newton. We know what this is like to be on the good side of that. But the Chiefs defense has been really big for the Chiefs being 9-0. Just kind of stall out here, make some dumb mistakes. And then again, the Chiefs have a chance. Obviously, at best you come out of this and you're a point down. Um, but we know what the Chiefs have done before. We know that they could force some mistakes here, but you don't want to rely on that. Essentially, on this interception drive, it's kind of already over, but there's maybe a shot that they get it. Instead, they're taking a little bit of too much time, I would say. I mean, they're not playing super slow, but you've a minute's gone by and you're kind of close, but not entirely. And then boom, he throws that second pick intended for Kelsey, goes to Bernard, and that's game. And I think that really sums up. Chiefs fought well. They were a good team throughout this game, but the Bills were the better team pretty much the whole time, except for the one drive, the two drive kind of back to back, where they threw a pick and then allowed that touchdown. After that, and outside of that, I would say that the Bills are certainly the better team throughout this game. And as usual from the regular season matchup, it does kind of look like if they were to play in the playoffs, that the Bills could move through and advance. We don't know how that'll go. We've seen how that changes every time they actually do face each other. But the Bills do look like a better team overall. I mean, the Chiefs have a great defense, but their offense just isn't quite as explosive as the Bills' offense, and that Bills' defense can really lock in when they need to. So this was exciting. It was everything you'd want out of the matchup. I'm sure everyone other than Chiefs fans wanted the Chiefs to not go undefeated, and I'm sure the 72 Dolphins certainly wanted the Chiefs to not go undefeated. So I know for me as a Panthers fan who has nothing much to do right now but hate, would be upset if the Chiefs had a three-peat and an undefeated season within that. It'd feel like I was actually like on the suffering end of a Madden franchise. So happy that the Chiefs dropped this one. I'll take a small moral victory there. But they still played good. These are two good football teams, and they showed that. But the Bills showed that they were the better team.